Clark, can you shed some light on what clarity you have with your linebacker group?
Yeah, the clarity. I mean, for me, it's starting to crystallize. For Coach Kelly and I think we're starting to kind of see the group surface. I think we've defined through camp some strengths and weaknesses, and I think, though I'm not going to go into the specifics, the thing I'm excited about is, we have a talented group that everyone has the ability to have a role in the game. And I think in a lot of ways, the way we've formulated things with our D-line, we're looking to do the same so that we're not having two guys take the brunt of snaps in the season, that we have rotations and we have specific skills that are executed on in situations. And so, it's going to be all hands on deck, but the guys are bought into it and they're supporting each other, and we talk every day. It's compete with each other, not against. And yeah, it's been a good camp, and I think we're starting to get a picture of kind of where the pieces fit. And I also think that you still have yet to play a game, so we're going to be also learning and growing through that experience too. And kind of come what may, the ability to stick and move and adjust as we go.
Clark, 10 out of the 13 linebackers, including the Rovers, are either freshman or sophomore eligibility. So as these guys get older, I mean, do you want there to be clear starters, whether it's this year, next year, or is this really how you want to play with your linebackers, that you want guys that have niche roles and lots of bodies in and out?
I think on defense we want, I would just back away from saying niche roles. I think it's more about constant competition, this constant feeling that I have to come and interview for the job I want every day, that I have to prove and reprove day in, day out. And I think that ultimately, shapes us as competitors to the highest possible level. And, look, it's a young group and it's a talented group. And I think the other point there is just, let's give this group, this unit, a chance to evolve as the season goes too, because, it's all relative. We always want things to happen faster than they should, but we're dealing with first and second year players, and they just are finishing up their, a lot of them, their first or second fall camp here. And, football's a little different too, in the aspect that, it's not like basketball or baseball where you play so many games as in high school, right? So I think each exposure is just peeling back the layers, and the experience builds daily. And so I think we'll see growth and maturity and evolution as the season goes. But to your question, I want to be able to use the skill sets of each player. I want everyone to feel like they have a role, and be at our best ability to beat the opponent week in, week out. And then beyond that, want each guy to feel like that they have room to go up or down based off how they approach the day at hand.
Clark, two local players that people like to hear about, Paul Moala and Jack Kaiser. Can you discuss their evolution so far?
Well, Paul has come a long way. We had Paul in camp, I guess that was 2 summers ago. And, we offered him a scholarship out of camp because he impressed in his performance. A year ago at this time, we weren't sure how he would factor in. It was overwhelming to him early. And once we got through camp and got into the season, he just kept coming on in scout looks on special teams and found a role for himself that way. Well, he took that and ran with it this winter and just really reconditioned himself and rebuilt himself. Moved to Rover in the spring, and had good days and bad days. I think he's found a level of consistency, and I'm excited for him to have a role for us. He's done a really nice job, and he's ready. He's prepared himself. Jack Kaiser, is really early in, but I mean he's just wired a little differently as a freshman. You know, he from the minute he stepped on campus, he just kind of engrossed himself, entrenched himself in Notre Dame. You know, he embraces the spirit of this university, everything that it means to be a student athlete here. And then when it came time to work, I mean, this guy is maniacal about wanting to be successful, and he's the consummate team guy too. So we're excited for what he can contribute. And I think, you know, having patience with him, he's done a great job this camp. I mean, good days and bad days, but stayed consistent with his mindset. And you know, we think he can carve out a role for himself. But we're going to have to give him room to continue to grow as the season goes forward.
Brian said this team will be as good as its ability to stop the run. Shocking, I know. But how do you see it? How good is this team's ability to stop the run?
You know, I mean, we have to put the guys that we have. We have the people we need to do it, and we believe in the guys that we have to anchor the box and to be competitive against everyone we'll play. You know, I have to do a good job of putting them in good positions, and I have to do a good job of accentuating their strengths in game planning. And if I'm able to do that, you know, I have complete faith in their ability to go out there and finish. And it won't be perfect, you know, and just like every game will have ebbs and flows, the season will have ebbs and flows, but it's just this constant push to identify who you are and how you're going to get them, right? And that's what we'll have to do.
Coach, every time it seems that Drew White is written off. You know, he came out of nowhere against Navy last year, disappears for a while, shows up early in spring and has the injury, but yet here he is in fall camp again in a perhaps leading role at the Mike linebacker position. What enables him to be just so constantly in the mix and effective?
You know, it's a great right now. I mean, and again, he's got so far to go, and it's hard for us to have like a finite mindset on this because, you know, our goal here is to win a national championship, and so, you know, for Drew White to keep coming to a level that we think he can perform on that, you know, on that stage in a manner that gives our team a chance to win, you know, so. What has given Drew a chance to be involved is I think he's got incredible self-awareness. I think he knows exactly what his strengths are and what his weaknesses are, and he doesn't shy away from that. And so he tailors his approach to maximize. He's got a really, really nice knack for finding the ball, a really good football instinct. That helps a lot too because as you're still taking reps and learning the package, you're able to find the football even when you're making a mistake. And, you know, I think guys that play within their strengths and understand where their weak points are and kind of limit the exposures that way. I mean, you know, they're and the other thing about Drew too, he's a winner. I mean, that guy's a winner, right? I mean, he's fought through adversity and hasn't wavered, hasn't backed down, has been counted out, you know, probably 100 times. And there's something to be said about someone who's that resilient. So he's got a long way to go, and he, like, you know, to my point earlier, he's got to earn it every day. I mean, he has to. But, you know, we're proud of the ground he's covered, especially in the face of the adversity he's had to deal with.
How has the corner position opposite Troy shaped up? You've had some setbacks there with Dante having the quad injury, and Houston was out for a while. How is that crystallizing as well?
You know, I think we have an idea. You know, that one just because we're leaving the doors open a little bit because we've had some guys that have battled through and missed some time. So we feel great about the people we have. We just need to, you know, again, and also based off the opponent, you know, what are we going to have to stop? Who are we going to have to stop? And whose skill set, you know, fits that mold the best. But, you know, it's not going to be a two-man show. You know, we're gonna be creative in the way we fit our people and put them in the right positions. But, you know, we're excited about who we have over there, and obviously we're excited for Troy. You know, he's had a great camp and continues to, you know, push to find another level for himself. So.
Coach, what are you expecting from Louisville's offense, given that they have the new staff, and how difficult a preparation is it that you've not seen this staff with this team yet?
That's always a challenge, and what I do know is these guys are really, really skilled coaches. I mean, they've done it at a really high level at App State. I've got a lot of respect for them. And so I know that we're going to be challenged. I know that they're going to have wrinkles, and they're going to find ways to move us around and try to compromise what we seem to feel are our strengths, And so you have to kind of prepare for a lot more than you're going to see. I always try to force myself to think from their vantage point too, and you kind of dig into their histories. So you look at some App State stuff, maybe some App State stuff from before when the personnel was a little different, NC State. And, we kind of pile it all together and then really pull the most challenging parts and pieces and make sure you rep it 100 times and hope that somehow you've surrounded the bullseye, But look, just like always, I'll be, in contact with Coach Kelly during the game. Hey, what are you seeing? What are they doing? What do you feel? We'll have to be on our toes and evolve and adjust as we go, because they'll have things that inevitably we won't have prepared for. So.